with kind of a weird one where I'm doing a review of a or preview of a figure that is already releasing now. So it's just kind of weird. So I should have done this the other week, but I was actually sick for quite a while, so wasn't able to do that this weekend. Give me 1 second here while I brighten this up a bit. Maybe this one. This one. Okay, we'll go with this. But yeah, so this is not the retail release, which is on the way to me as well as on the way to many of you out there. But this is the preview version that we had at TFCon Baltimore. But this is so close to release. They were like, go ahead and just review it. And we're going to do instructions for this as well, which will be coming out probably tomorrow. I'm going to work on that right after this. But there may be some things that are slightly off. Like I got two sets of faces that maybe the wrong colors. There was like a lighter color one. They said the darker ones are here, and the instructions say 3 extra faces, but I think it's only 2 extra faces, like 3 including the one here. So we'll just do a quick look while we have it. Kind of a open mouth sad one. There's a open mouth smiling one here, and then just kind of a straight one here. All right. He does come with a couple of other accessories. So he comes with this little like speaker, what is it, bullhorn kind of thing that you can attach in robot mode. He also comes with 2 sets of cannons, which can be used in both his modes, well, all 3 of his modes technically, in robot, alt, and his combined mode, which we'll go through today. And then he has his blaster here as well, which they went out of the way to go ahead and put a little red piece in here, which I found interesting. I think it's really for alt mode to double as a tail light. But those are the pieces here that we have as far as accessories. Let's do a quick 360. Actually, let me give a little bit of shout out to the folks who've joined here already. We got 30 folks already. Nice. So we got Jason, Magellan, Alex B, La Monster, Antoine Lewis, Clinical, McLouis Taji, Roger Franklin, Kamel, Shiro Kuro, and our very own Ocular Max MMC team member Chigo King, who does the artwork for all of these nice figures. So I don't have the box because it's not a retail release, but I'll be doing a full review on that probably at a later date as well, just to show you, maybe even just show you guys the differences between the prototype and the final here. But this is near final. You can see it's fully painted. Well, not fully. It's very painted in a lot of areas. The silver parts are mostly painted. All these details along the side here. The police tampo. He does have some translucent red pieces throughout, like the taillights. Orange translucent pieces here. He's got some black paint, orange clear pieces here, molded headlights and so forth. So a lot of great detail in this figure overall, even these small details alongside here. And then when we get to alt mode, you'll see that there's even more details on the side of the bike, which I think look really, really great. One really odd thing that he does have is a kickstand that comes to the front here, kind of just hangs out. It can get in the way of certain things, so just be careful when you're using it. And I'll point out in the transformation in particular ways that you want to avoid it. He does also have nice little details as far as the speedometer and what is the RPM one called? I don't even remember what that's called. TM will know. He knows cars. But here's his robot mode, doing a quick 360. He has a couple of options in his robot mode. This is, I guess, the quote-unquote default option. As you can see here, he looks quite nice. Doesn't have too huge of a backpack aside from the front here. Tachometer, thank you, Trans Fans Toys. And Mike Boyle. But the other things that he has is this alternate, I guess, configuration for his neck. So you can see kind of like the G1 animation. It looked kind of weird. He had his neck on kind of this platform that sat way above his shoulders. It looks kind of awkward, but they do have it on kind of a double hinge. So if you want, you can kind of sink it down to make it look more normal, I guess, in terms of having the neck come right up from the top of the chest. The only bad side about that is that then you lose like all articulation, essentially going left and right. So that's kind of a bummer. But I guess the more quote-unquote accurate look is to extend it upwards like that. But then he looks kind of giraffe necky to me. I don't know which one I'll do. And again, I'll probably have him displayed in combined mode anyway. Let's see. Really quickly, accessory-wise, there's a couple things. The guns are the easiest, so let's just do that. It has kind of the same rear tabbing mechanism that some of his brethren have, so it goes to the back of the palm, which actually works quite well, like that. It secures very, very well. It's not going anywhere. Additionally, it has one of the only times that I can ever recall where you actually remove a hand to use an accessory, at least with MMC Ocular Max. I can't remember very many that do that. They usually like transform the hand in, and then there's a plug there or something like that. But this one is actually kind of on a mushroom peg kind of deal, and you just go ahead and plug that in, and you got the speaker bullhorn kind of look. Hey, Princeton, how's it going? You can do that with either hand. I'm not going to show that off, but just take my word for it. It does work on both hands. As far as the other weaponry that he has, it took me a while to figure this out because, again, I didn't have instructions until literally yesterday, I think. And I was already well versed in the figure by that point. But the way that this works is this part swings out to be a tab. And at first I was like, how do I get this out? There's no real easy way. And again, this is a pre-production sample, so maybe maybe the retail release has a little bit of dent in here, but you actually just have to push in this, which is easier said than done, at least on that side for me. Let me see if I can do it better on this side. Yeah, see, this one works a little bit easier. This side, I think I actually had to use one of the guns to actually press in hard enough to get it started. There we go. And then you have these square pegs. And again, this is a pre-production release. So one side is really loose on mine. Or this, that's not even mine, but this one. I think it's this side. Yeah, this one's definitely loose. But then you have his kind of leg blasters here, which look kind of weird. But yeah, if you like that look, you can get that sported. Otherwise, that's it accessory-wise, aside from the faces that we talked about. And there's not much to do with these. All you have to do is kind of, well, you can pop the head off if you want to make it easier, but you just pull forward on the face. He just has a long visor, and this sits on top of it, actually. And if I can manage this with my non-delicate hands, which I can't get them sometimes to listen to what I want them to do, get in here. There we go. There we go. Just push that on. Now he has his happy face, and he's looking happy. I will say though that this face kind of gives me Willem Dafoe vibes. I don't know if you guys will now hate me from now on after having said that, but it gave me kind of Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe vibes. So with that, let me do some articulation, and then we'll do some comparisons, okay? Hey, Jason, how's it going? Blade's guns peg into his knee, so the groove's ankles isn't that odd. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, that collar area puts you off. I don't know when you came in, but like I said, you can, optionally, they have a lower configuration like that, which I think looks better, but then you lose some articulation because of conflicts. Has anyone made an Incertus joke yet? Yeah, no, not yet. But you're the first. Good job, Partsformer. Way to be. And I can't believe you're still a blue name here. I should really remove your mod powers here. So articulation-wise, let's start with the head. His head is on a ball peg. And this neck panel is really weird. It has several hinges. I don't even know where they all are. And they're on kind of a pin joint that spins around. It's super hard to describe. But it allows you to get down if you do it right. It allows you to get up separate from the ball peg itself. You can go around here. And again, since he has a bobblehead, you can do that. I actually saw that they are going to have alternate heads, obviously, for the toy version that they're releasing. So that'll be nice. What else does he have? Oh, he has shoulder joints that go around and out to the side. And then he also has a set of butterfly joints. So his whole shoulder mechanism and body mechanism is kind of interesting. So you can see, hopefully you can see that they're on double hinges here that can extend outwards a bit, which will give you some butterfly action here. And it gives you a lot more range. But if you unpeg these side pieces a bit, you can actually open the entire side panel and give you a little bit more. It'll obviously break up the look a little bit, but it gives you a little bit more range should you need to do it for some kind of extreme posing. But typically you want to have this locked in. If with it locked in, you still do have some articulation here on that single double hinge. Let's see, where else were you at? He has a bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, which gets about 135 degrees, so 90 plus 45. He also has a wrist joint here, so that you have some angling on the wrist itself that goes into the forearm. He has that swivel because it's on that that kind of mushroom peg that can be pulled out. And then he has pretty standard hands for the, I think these are probably the exact same hands every other Protectobot has, with the ball peg thumb and then all 4 fingers individually articulated, but none have, and having 1 pin at the base of the hand, but no other ones. So they're always constantly curled. They're just individually curled, which I guess is okay, but it would be nice if they had more articulation, especially when compared to the hands that we got for Drift that I showed off the other day. Those hands are amazing. Like, if those become the standard hands for Ocular Max, that'd be amazing. Let's see. Coming to the waist, he does have 360 waist. It is off-centered for transformation kind of purposes, and it is softly ratcheted, actually. He also has an ab crunch, which goes not quite 90, but pretty close. He has hip skirts that come up here and here. He doesn't have any side or back ones that will interfere. And he does have softly ratcheted hips that go up, which hold well, and back nearly 90 degrees. Going out to the side, they're just friction. They hold pretty well. And again, it's hard to use this as a judge since it is a pre-production sample. He does have a thigh swivel. It looks like he has a lower thigh swivel here, but he doesn't. He just has a knee bend. And I think it's a double knee bend, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second here. Yeah. The problem is that the big wheel pieces kind of get in the way of you being able to use both of them. So you really only get 90 degrees, but you can use either the upper one or the lower one to your liking. There are ways to get around this by moving this, unpegging this and moving this whole section out of the way so you can get a bit more. But even still, there is some calf action here that's going to restrict it. But that's, I think, plenty. Let's get this whole section back and pegged in. Yeah, there we go. Where were we? Oh, so coming down to the feet, he does have crazy ankle tilt. He can also rock. Oh, I'm going to try to keep this in. It does a little bit down, not a ton. A little bit up. I would say maybe 10 degrees. But that is also separate from the toe articulation. And you probably get a little bit more. It is weird, this panel here, the way this works. It's hard to describe, and it's easier to show it. But you have to kind of move it out of the way in order to get some things transformed for robot and alt mode. But yeah, you have to basically tuck this in. But with that, you can get toe pointed down as well as toe pointed up. He also has a heel in the form of this seat, back seat, I guess. It can shift down or it can shift up, and it kind of locks into place at both. It's supposed to be shifted this way for alt mode. So it's supposed to be up for here, but I guess you can theoretically call that heel articulation. I wouldn't really count it as such, but I think that covers all of the articulation that we have for this guy in robot mode. Most of his teammates, well, all of his teammates that I have are currently in combined mode, because I figured you all would want to see more of the combined mode than his teammates comparison. So I can't do that as a live stream because I have them mostly in combined mode for later. But I can show them off with some other figures. Ow, son of a gun. Sorry. Most people don't know, unless you're in my Discord, you probably don't know that I've had shoulder issues for the past several months, and apparently I have frozen shoulder, which takes about a year to recover from. So not great news. I actually have an MRI scheduled later this weekend. So this is the only team member from the Protect the Bots that I have that is in robot mode, because I'm not going to show him in combined mode because this is still a very early sample of blades, but you can see how they stack up and give you a little preview of this figure, which we'll preview at some point, probably next week. And then here he is with the drift I was talking about, the Infinity drift, which is a figure I think is awesome and I love. And again, his hands are awesome. Who else can I show him off with? Prime. I mean, Prime makes a lot of sense, so I'll just show him off with Prime. And then just because I always have to have him now, because I never know when Anthony Brown Jr. or Ridiculous Badger will donate, I'd ask for him. Here he is with Ocular Max's Springer, my Springer of choice. And then because everybody loves fans toys, I already talked about. I already saw people talking about the fact that Marg is shipping. Yes, I think he is shipping. And there he is with the fans toys, Gary, their scrapper. I do not have any of the X Transbots figures. They gave me the first one and I sold it because it was so bad, and then I never collected any of the other ones. So I have no idea if the rest of them are any good, but I just know that the first one that I had was not good, and I'm not spending money on the rest of them. All right. So those are the only comparisons I'm going to do for today. And let's get these guys out of the way. All right. Hey, Junkback, dropping by to say hi and to ask you to remember to show the alternate neck configuration. I already did that. You're late. You're late. Oh, yeah, Fuzz. Fuzz was awful, but Jacone was great? Oh, that's good to know. Hey, Titan, how's it going? No streak comparison in robot mode. Hey, Crispy. I'm here. Better late than never. It's okay. Jermaine says extras. I actually finally got to meet Jermaine at TFCon in person, which was cool. Travis says there's only been 2 X Transbots so far, and you haven't missed much. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into transformation for this guy now. His transformation is quite fun, and the transformation from alt mode to combined mode is quite simple. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, please excuse the some looseness here. This is not a retail copy. It's a pre-production sample, so don't let that fool you, okay? I'm sure people listening from other countries are not going to understand that, but at least for you guys, I want to let you all know. All right, so to transform this guy, we're going to start with the upper body first. I'd like to just get these out the way here. Actually, so I don't know if this is the official transformation for robot mode. I just like it here because when you have the handles turned this way, you can get it sitting flush. If you do it this way, they do not. They kind of sit up at an angle. So I'd like to do it like this, but from here, I want to first come to the back here. You want to pull out on this tab. You can see it comes up like so. You're going to fold this in. That tab is what kind of holds the side of the body where the arms are attached in place. So let's do the same here. While we're here, well, let's just deal with the arms. So the arms, they don't do any of the traditional open a panel, flip the fist in. The fist stays where it is, but you do kind of do this kind of telescoping thing where you push the forearm to the back, like so. All right. Let's deal with the backpack next. So there are these 2 little flat pieces on either side. They basically fold in to kind of hold the wheel slightly in place here. You can pull that out, and then you want to make sure to leave these out because you need clearance for the head. So now we're going to work with the main body. With the main body, you do want to make use of these double jointed shoulders to get them out from behind this gold chest piece. From there, oh, actually, before we do that, I always forget this. You want to rotate this waist before you do anything with the chest, 180 degrees. I also like to pull this kickstand out to the side, and you'll see why. Probably, well, if I don't do it, you'll see why. But you want to kick it out to the side here. From here, you just pull out on the arms, and you'll see that there's another set of double hinges in here So it's kind of like a swivel hinge here that flips around 180. So you want to pull that all the way down like so. Same, yeah. So if I didn't do that on this side, this will run, the kickstand will run to the way. So that's why you have to pull this out to the side. That will give you the clearance you need to come all the way down and even beyond horizontal here, which is good. From here, you just want to rotate the head back 180. It's on this whole thing is on a rotating platform thing. All you need to do first is to release it by pushing up on this piece here. And you can see it kind of flipped around by itself. You do want to kind of get this piece like so around. And then you want to have the head kind of rocked up like so. So this kind of sits up like this, okay? So not sitting down, kind of sitting as far back as possible. And then that will allow you to close the chest up. Both of these chest pieces will fold directly around and kind of sandwich the head into place. All right. All right, from here, compared to X-Transbus Jacone, you're already late. I already told everyone that I don't have that figure. So way to waste $2. But I appreciate the $2. I'll compare it to something else. Give me something else that you want. So now that we got that cleared, we can actually close up these panels. These panels are really just for certain parts. You can really do with them what you want, but we'll leave it as here. Oh, it was a joke. Oh, it was a joke. Oh, I didn't get that. That was not the greatest pun, but let's get back to where we were. So from here, we do want to combine these two pieces. And again, mine is a sample, and this doesn't work as well as I would have liked. I think this piece is supposed to tab in between these two gas tank pieces, but this one doesn't. And again, I think it's just because it's a sample, or it's been worn down to heck to the point where it doesn't work anymore. All right, so from here, we want to fold out these side pieces and then kind of fold them up. Before we fold them up though, the arms were like this in robot mode. We want to swing this all the way around 180 degrees, like so. And do that on the same side, so on the other side. So this one had like kind of details of the engine on the inside. You want to rotate that around, like so. And then you're going to fold all this up. The two arms will come together. There's tabs on here, and I thought there was another set of tabs, maybe just at the bottom here, but at least the black tabs right there will come together like so. One quick note on this side, they do have a little detail piece that you can rotate. You need to rotate that into place. You need room for that in robot mode, and so we'll need to open that up later. But we'll close that up to get the engine looking the way it's supposed to. It looks quite good. It has a lot of pistons and stuff like that. A lot of real-life details, and even like a foot stand here. All right. At this point, you can kick back in this kickstand if you want. It doesn't really matter. Now we'll deal with the lower body. Lower body is pretty interesting. Let's fold. Well, I guess we don't really need to fold these in. We won't fold these in because we're going to use them for alt mode as well. But what we will do is start with the feet. So using the ankle tilt, we want to push this panel so it's flush, like so. And then you can close the toe in all the way. Okay? And then you can rock that back. Same thing on this side. All right. From here, you're going to want to untab this panel, which is on kind of a double hinge here, but it's not on like a straight double hinge. It's on an angle, which allows it to change vertically as well. So once you do that, you want to move it out of the way. You want to rotate the tailpipe piece and everything that goes along with it, kind of in this position here. We want to pull out on this everything that's in the cab and extend that out. So that is like the car seat, the bike seat and everything like that. And then this is going to slide inwards like so. And then once you have that, everything else will kind of come into place once you get the other side married up with it. Really quickly before we do that, I did want to show you that there is a specific orientation or locking key pieces for the wheels, the two halves of the wheels. You can see that there's a notch here and a gap there. So you can kind of get them aligned, but you can also just put them together and like rotate them around until they slot into place. So same thing on this side. We're just going to go ahead and untab this, extend this, and then making sure to rotate this up kind of like in this position. You don't want it all the way up because this will tab in once we get everything rotated, but you want to just get everything kind of prepped. And now you can kind of get both halves together. Tab these in. It doesn't need to be perfect right now. And like I said, one of the easy ways would be just to, oh, these are aligned already, apparently. But if they weren't aligned, you could just spin one of the halves around until it locked into place. But, oh, there we go. See? So I just spun it around until it locked into place. All right, from here, what we need to do is bring the entire waist back. And you'll see the hands will land in position. There's a couple tabs on the bottom of the arms that will go into the back of the hips and the thighs. Just make sure that they're lined up correctly. And tabbed in. Like so. All right. And then we're going to rotate this whole back section, the pack here, along with the wheel that's connected. We're going to rotate that towards the front. Come on. There we go. Rotate that forward. Push these white pieces as far forward as you can. Be careful again that you move these out of the way because otherwise you might run into them. You want to push that as far forward until that little slot becomes visible, and then you can lock the tailpipes into place to hold it in the correct orientation. These two halves are on sliders. These car seats are on sliders. So slide them toward the center. Tab the two halves in like so. And as long as you correctly move these white pieces as far forward as possible where it lines up here, you'll see there these two tabs and two tabs there, which will go into here and here respectively. We just tab those in like so. And then again, make sure that the seat is up. You can have it down, but I believe it's supposed to be up like that. And lastly, these pieces here are going to swing up and forward to tab into the side here. The other side looks like it was already done. And then these tailpipes will come to the side like so and sit in place. And with that, you have Incertus or their groove in alt mode. Let me see if I have everything tabbed in tightly. I think so. Pretty close at least. Let me go ahead and flip out the kickstand so you can see how it works there. Yeah, it's at first it was a little challenging for me because I didn't understand how some of the pieces worked, and I was struggling with to get the arms in, and then I realized later that I rotate the waist and everything just folds up, and the arms just gonna guide themselves into place, and everything just sits over that. So no clearance issues, no like rubbing or anything like that, which is great. You can see it does have some tampo details like the star, police. Again, a lot of silver piping details and a list of black highlights on these gear shifters and stuff like that. On the brakes. What else are there? Again, my front end doesn't tab in. It should. I'm 99% sure this is supposed to lock in up here, but I think that tab was probably like either not long enough in this pre-production sample or was worn down from just too much use elsewhere. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of nice details here on the blocks. You actually don't see a lot of robot mode stuff in this, which is kind of surprising. Again, it's kind of an all-in-one combiner. Luckily, the feet are not part of this, which makes this a lot easier. You do see a little bit of his face and forehead if you look deep down in here. How does it roll? It rolls quite well. So if I were to hold this wheel into place, rolls for quite a while. And then these two on the back, I didn't think they would roll that well because they're two halves combined, but it also rolls quite well. These are rubber tires. Like even these two halves that combine together are rubber tires. They can roll quite well. It does have some articulation here. So not only the handles can twist on these ball pegs here, but the handles also can rotate down and up. The front end can turn turn. So this whole section turns just a little bit. That's the entire front end, only a little bit. But the wheel itself, which I don't know if it's accurate to the vehicle, but the wheel and the handles. God, man, I couldn't think of the word. I was trying like the steering wheel. The handles can rotate quite a bit more. Not like totally like 90 degrees or anything like that. Just a little bit, probably like 10, 15 degrees to each side. But it's a nice little detail that they probably didn't need to include, but they do have that. So if you include the tilting of this piece, you get probably like, I don't know, not even that much more. It's only like another 1 degree or so. But they do have that. The pack on the back is on those ankle tilts, so you get a little bit of extra room if you need it. I don't know why you would need that, but it is there, I suppose. As far as his alt mode, weapon storage, using the same post. Again, this right one here on mine is super loose. But the other side here ports in just fine. And then this weapon actually transforms. You tilt the tip in like so. You need to come to the back. You need to sit or split, and you want to get the handle inside of there, and then close it back up. So it becomes like another tail light here. And you do need to flip the tip forward, otherwise it will drag on the ground. You know, I have that same problem myself, if I can brag. I actually thought it might be better to have it point backwards to look like another tailpipe, but yeah, it tilts forward like so. All right, so yeah, that is his alt mode. Some comparisons. Obviously, the universal problem with Crispy got the joke. He got the joke. The universal problem with Groove as a transformer and alt mode, especially as a combiner, is that the alt mode clearly does not scale. Can you grab a wheelie and see if he fits? I do have a wheelie, actually. That's so weird. This is I guess this is the commander class. I don't remember what, not commander class. What is it? Core class? I don't even remember what they are. But you can take a look at that. Who else do I have? Oh, I have Spike, the larger Spike. This is obviously clearly too big. Who else do I have? No one else that really fits the scale. I guess here's a random deluxe figure. Not deluxe Baldwin, just a deluxe scale figure. That actually works. Oh, I do have an Ollie, but I don't feel like getting him. Well, you paid the $2. All right, fine. Hold on. Here's X Transbot's Ollie. I don't even know which version this is. It's probably 2 or it's definitely one of the revisions. Can Marvel Legends ride him? You know, Shirokuro, probably, but I don't feel like going and finding one of my random Marvel Legends. Oh! I don't have a Marvel Legends near me, but I do have, since I do have them near me, I'll humor you with a Goku Black, which actually does seem to scale quite well. Also, since I do have a second drift in his alt mode, an earlier version, you can see how they kind of scale. All right, you get out of here. You too, Goku. Well, yeah, it actually works quite well with that. Marvel Legends, I think, will probably be a little too tall, but... All right. So hopefully that gives you a good idea. Scott says, not sure why that made me think of Scooter, but it did. Okay. What did Princess Failang say? True Star Screamer probably could fit on that bike. Ooh, that's rough. Why we gotta make fun of him? We like Dave. Well, some of us like Dave. Not me. All right, so let's move these out of the way. And I think there's nothing else to show in his alt mode, is there? I mean, I'll just do a quick 360, but it looks really nice. You know, it looks like a police bike with all the extra storage and stuff that you might expect to see. If you want to see it without these tabs out, that's how it looks. Yeah, so I dig it. I dig it. All right, let me go ahead and get into his combine mode. So combine mode is really easy to get to from here. All you really do is untab these. You want to split them, and then there's a exterior or external or wider set of tabs here. I can't think of words today. That they peg into. We do want to swing around this whole front end here. We're going to bring this down. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Before I tab this in, I was supposed to take the gas tank out. So we need to transform the gas tank back into kind of the robot mode configuration where we split this. We pull this tab out to the side here with a star, and that's going to, oop, should not have extended it that way. We want to get it down on these double hinges and then make sure that this star tabs in here. Same thing on this side. Pull out this tab. Get it around here to tab in to the side there. Sorry about that. And now we can go ahead and get those seats back into the wider set. You want to rotate the wheel in like so. I don't know exactly which orientation it's supposed to be. I think this looks right, but you can have it further down if you want, I suppose. Neither one locks into place from what I can tell. There's no like tab or anything like that that secures it. So you can kind of do what you want with that one. And again, I kind of like this orientation for the handles just to get it as flush as possible for combined mode. We do need to split the tail end here to get this out, but also this is where the combiner piece will go in. But this is what the leg mode looks like. It's very simple to get to. All right. And oh, sorry, the one last thing you need to do is because you need these grooves here to slot into the knee, which I'm going to show off. So give me just 1 second to bring on the rest of the team. I did spend time getting these folks prepared, so I'm not going to go over exactly how to get this guy transformed. We've already gone through that, so I'm going to assume you know how to get the proper leg transformation for Hotspot or Ignis, whatever you want to call him. I'm just going to show you the ways to combine it. So again, you need to have these panels horizontal or parallel to the ground, and then you have to split this because this piece with this set of pegs here and this piece and this slot here, this I-beam kind of thing, will go into the back sections here. And then before we do that, though, we do need to open up the knee section. So bend the knee, open up this tab. And these rails here are what go into these tabs that we got to sit out horizontally. So push that in. Oh. Close that up. And then this is a little bit more challenging. You do have to split the legs here quite a bit. And it's kind of hard to show you all this without blocking everything that's in view. But you're just going to have to trust me that you just need to make sure that everything on the foot is horizontal, essentially, to the ground. And then you just get them wedged in between these two halves of the legs, of the rear of the vehicle. And just give it a squeeze. That should do it. I think that's it. You'll see the wheel kind of sits out behind here. But that should have done it. Get his toe. Ah! No! His arm. What happened? Come on. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm gonna keep him straight leg for now until I get him balanced. Call a medic for medicus. Yeah, so this is what he looks like. I could probably scooch up a bit. Hold on, give me a second here. Let me adjust my tripod. All right, to get you more of a kind of straight on look. But again, the issue with that is that we can't get this guy all the way in frame. But he looks great. He's quite stable. Let me get him into an A stand so he doesn't look as awkward. But yeah, he's quite stable. The things that always had me concerned about this guy was the fact that his feet are hollow, but he holds actually together quite solidly, I would say, especially laterally, like to the side. He's fine. Front and back, probably a little bit less so, but I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. Oh, I spoke too soon. But as a leg, he looks quite good, I would say. Looks really quite solid. Holds together well. I can articulate holding just groove, and it works just fine. So yeah, that's his combined mode. Take a look at those legs. Those legs, he got legs for days. Yeah, and unlike their Bruticus, these feel more even. Because if you remember, Swindle was kind of flat, and Brawl was pretty thick when it came to their other combiner, their Bruticus. And so a lot of people had complaints about this. These look quite even, but obviously the downside is that obviously the alt mode is much larger. I mean, it's bigger than Carbots. Clinical says, I'm not keen on the general proportions. I wasn't originally as well, but I thought he looks better now than in the gray model. I always thought his upper body seemed really wide, but I think it looks great. Yeah, I really like the look of this guy. I do have blades, but again, I used him to show you guys in robot mode, and I'm going to show his combined mode in his preview. So I don't want to jump the gun and give you guys a free show. I need the views, folks, for that one. What did Titan say? Paik4Life says, any chance for an upgrade kit like Bruticus? Those feet could be bigger. I don't think so. All right. So, well, actually, give me a second here. I put in a poll as well as a Q&A because I forgot last time. But let me see. I asked if you guys are getting Groove, and wow, 75% of you guys said you're getting this Incertus. That's cool. Let me go to the Q&A, see what questions I might have missed. How much does he weigh? Oh, you're right. I totally forgot to do that, so I will do that. What scale figures fits on him in alt mode? So yeah, we kind of went over that already. So let me go back before I forget. When we get back to robot mode, I'll try to remember to do the scale. I mean, the scale's right on the right side. You can see it there because I'm too lazy to move it. But all right, so let me get this guy off of Defensor's leg, and then we'll get him back into bike, the short trip to bike, and then we'll finish off in robot mode. All right, so let me just split these two halves. I will say splitting is from here is a little bit harder than actually getting it in there. There we go. Come on. Slide out. There we go. All right. Actually, before I forget, I'll just go ahead and weigh him now. He doesn't have any accessories on him. I don't think he's particularly heavy. I don't think he has any die cast or notable die cast besides, screws and stuff like that, right? So he weighs 6.8 ounces, which is about 192 grams. Let's say put that compared to Streak, he's 132 grams, so about 50% heavier than Streak. All right. Oh, so you can see that these two halves are not together. We'll just put those together. Now these are already aligned because I can't spin them, so that's good. To get them back into bike mode, all we need to do is flip this around primarily, right? And then we gotta get these up and together, the seat that is. Before we put those in, we gotta untab on the sides here, close these up, fold these together and down. And again, I expect the retail release will clip around this black tab on the front here to lock everything in place. But the joys of prototypes. Tab this in and we're back in alt mode. We'll get these situated in more realistic pose like that. Oh, I just noticed there's a red detail here on the underside. I wonder why they have this one painted and not the top one. I would think they would want the top one painted. Maybe that's a oversight or a mistake in the painting department, because you're not going to see the bottom one very much. Or maybe the top one just rubbed off, because it does look like there might be some red paint here. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Sorry about that. All right, so let's get him back into robot mode and finish off this preview. All right. All right, so the first thing we'll do is, I'm trying to think, what is the first thing we'll do? Well, I guess we'll just deal with the seat here. We'll just pull this out. We're going to want to, oh yeah, so we want to do everything with like the upper body here. So we want to undo this. We want to undo the sides here. I mean, lower body, I know it's not the upper body. You want to pull this up, untab these, and we're going to essentially split the legs and rotate the waist down. Split the legs, open this up enough so that the arms can come out. Probably want to pre-untab them just to make life easier for ourselves. Come on, untab. Untab, damn you. Channeling my inner Ultra Magnus. Come on. Why aren't you untabbing? Untab. Arms untab. All right. Bring this entire waist down like so. You guys didn't see it, but just to make it a little bit easier, I went ahead and untabbed the tailpipe flap section that was here. So that just allows you to move these wheel and lower leg pieces. But once you have those untabbed, you can rotate the legs so that the silver parts of the shins face forward. They do have a specific orientation because when you fold these up, you'll see that there's a peg here that will align with that. And then once you fold all this up, you'll see that this peg should go into this kind of slot here. And then on the other side, when you rotate this down, you'll see this peg goes into this peg hole there. But before that, we want to make sure we rotate this all the way around, and then this piece will come down and tab here. So there's a couple of pegs and tabs. Again, on this sample so far, they're pretty loose. I'm hoping the final copy that you guys are going to be getting will be much tighter. Coming to the foot, again, you have this kind of weird thing here. So you can't just go ahead and just pull this out. You have to give it a bit of a push. I forget which way. This way? I think this way. Yeah, you got to give a push towards the middle, and then that will give you enough room to rotate the toe out. Before it gets all the way through, you want to push that in, and that will give you enough room. Push the seat up on the heel. And that's one leg done. So we'll repeat on the other side. So if you untab this and rotated this down, like so, let's just deal with the seat. This kind of folds in on itself. There's a tab here. Tabs in like that. This seat peg, just get aligned correctly with the peg here. And then you can rotate this down to get all this side pegs down. Oh, sorry, I forgot to rotate this piece down first. Get those pegs and tabs all aligned. Get the heel up. Give it that little ankle twist. Push in on this slightly. That'll give you enough room to rotate out the toe before you go all the way. Remember, tuck it back in. That's the only weird part about this transformation. That's very specific, I would say. All right. With that, the lower body's done. We do want to kick out the kickstand real quick. Because again, once we pull the arms out and down to the side, before I do that, I always want to remember to fold this piece down, rotate it down. Oh, sorry, and I gotta get the gas tank separated before we pull all that down. Like that. So we should now be able to bring this down. Like so. We want to get essentially 90 degrees or a little bit more than that. Fold this up, fold this up. We're going to open up the chest here and here. In this back section, make sure that these panels are angled out so that they don't run into your face. You do want to rotate the head all the way forward and through. You'll see these two tabs will come into the chest, top of the chest there. And I saw some people damage their face because they rotated the head for some reason during transformation. Yeah, don't do that. Just keep the head straight. I don't know why you would think that you would want to rotate the head. But yeah, there we go. We can go ahead and close up these sides here. Once we have them rotated in, we want to pull out these tabs that we did for combined mode. Get these down and tabbed into the side here. Come on. Oh, sorry, I didn't push this all the way in. Like so. Same thing on this side, making sure that the chest is all the way in. What's going on here? Okay, yeah. Getting this tab open, down, and tabbed into the side there. While we're back here, we can go ahead and rotate the wheel all the way in and tuck it in like so. And once you have it in like this, you can, oh, sorry, this wasn't supposed to go in like that. Once you have it all tucked in like that, you can close these panels a little bit to give some extra tension to make sure that the backpack doesn't come out. All right, rotate the waist 180 so he's not weirdly oriented. You want to extend the arms on those double joints. The arms are done. And last but not least, you can just do with whatever you want on with these handles. Again, I like flipping them around and folding them down so that they sit flush, but I guess you can just keep it in the regular orientation, have them angled. It's really up to you. So, but with that, we have Incertus back in his robot mode with the high neck orientation, or again, you can just, oop, I tried to hold this into place, but clearly I didn't do a good job. Hold this down. You can rock it in on this double hinge too. Come on. Why isn't the lower orientation working? There we go. Or the lower orientation, which I think looks better. But again, limits your head movement and articulation because of the big pop collars that he has. All right. Let me see if there are any other questions that were popped into the Q&A section before, since I checked it previously at the combined mode mark. If not, we'll go ahead and end the stream. Let's see here. No other questions have come back, so we're gonna end the stream pretty quickly. Then again, we can transform the gun back by flipping it up like this. We can also get this hand off. We'll show it off this time on the right hand, like so. Up. This side looks loose for some reason, so let's do this side then. All right, there we go. Let me get his gun into this hand. But overall, my final thoughts are, he's actually a really fun figure. To be perfectly honest, when I first got him, I was like, I didn't think he was that great. And I thought he was kind of annoying to transform. Again, not knowing how to transform him. But after figuring out how to transform him and getting some direction, I think he has some really cool stuff going on. I love the fact that they were able to do the split wheels and make it work without being really weird. I know it does get kind of in the way, but it does look pretty accurate to the toy itself. A couple of complaints would be like I would love if the final release has a little bit tighter tolerances so that this doesn't flop around a lot. I know when I handle my figures, I handle them by the shins a lot, and so it's easy for these to flop around. I guess pretty minor complaints. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts overall. I do like him as a figure. I think his articulation is good. I think his robot mode looks great. I think his leg and alt mode. So this is one of the rare times that I think all modes look really quite good. I always say that when you do a triple changer or a combiner, one of the three modes always seems to suffer. Um, I feel like maybe the robot mode is the most suffering one just because it has a lot of kibble, but I like the robot mode a lot. I think it looks great. The alt mode, the only downside of that one is the fact that it's so huge, but we kind of expected that and we're used to that from all of our grooves. Um, why does it seem like his one side is a lot taller than the because I messed up on this. I was like, well, I was like, why does he seem so much taller on one side? He was like, leaning. But where was I? But yeah, and then the combine mode looks good. So it's very, very rare. I don't even know the last time I've given a triple changer or combiner like really good marks on all of them. I don't know if I can even give it a weakest mode. I guess if I was to choose the weakest mode out of all of them, I guess it would be robot mode. I guess, but like I said, I like the robot mode. I don't think I would have any problem displaying him as Groove in my robot mode collection. But he'll definitely go in combined mode for me, just because I love the combined mode for these all-in-one figures from Ocular Max / MMC. All right, so clearly, again, a lot of loose pieces on this sample, but I'm hoping the final copy that I get in a couple of weeks, it's already in the mail, will be much better. Let me know in the comment section if you got your retail copy and if you see any of the same problems or if they resolved all of them, which I imagine they will be. But that's really it. I appreciate everyone who joined today. Appreciate TM Reviews and the $2 donation that he provided. Thank you for all 70 plus of you who are with me today and right now. Antoine says, every time you transform a Masterpiece figure, does it feel like you're wearing kids' gloves, being very cautious with every piece on the figure, no matter how durable it is? No, I don't feel that way. It depends on which company though. Like, I'm a little bit more cautious with Fans Toy stuff just because of the paint. That's the thing that worries me the most about them. They have such nice paint, you don't want to scrape anything. X Transbots more along the lines of plastic quality and overall damage that they tend to have. Their transformations usually have some frustrating bits, so clearances and being able to shear stuff off seems to happen all the time with them. Some weird design stuff. Ocular Max, I usually don't have any issues or concerns about their transformations, and most of them are pretty intuitive. I always give AK Flowers, one of the designers for the Ocular Max line, but the entire team there. Makoto, I know she does some of the surface work and probably some of the design work as well. Byron, there's all others, and I don't even know them all that do some of the more intricate details and tabbing and stuff like that. I know the general overall engineering and transformation comes from AK typically, but again, the Ocular Max team and MMC team in general do such a good job with the designing of figures to make it so it's not frustrating on that. Like, I remember the Boss Penguin at MMC was telling me how the leg transformation is really frustrating on Drift, and I was like, I don't think so. I didn't think it, I mean, it's a little bit weird with the way you might have to do some of the knee stuff, but definitely not frustrating, I would say. And so they hold themselves to a pretty high standard. All right, hey Mike, how's it going? Mark, thank you. I can't wait for Toy Dojo to sit mine. Oh yeah, I should always give a shout out to Toy Dojo. I know that the shipments from overseas are already being made, so they're on their way to the U.S. now. I don't know exactly when Toy Dojo will get their shipment. And again, for you fans, Toys fans, I know that I don't think they've gotten their tracking numbers for Marg / Ultra Magnus yet, but it should be soon because I know invoices have already come out and they're already preparing boxes for me to be able to ship some of them from the East Coast location here in Virginia. So, sorry I can't give you more information than that. That said, if you guys enjoyed the stream, as usual, loved it if you gave it a like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, just hang out and join us for other live streams. I love the live stream format. So even if you're not going to give it a like, just throw some comments in here just to know just so I know you're alive. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you next week. I'm out of town for the next couple days, so it won't be until probably next week when we'll do another review. Okay. It'll probably be Marg or if not Blades, depending on what the timing of everything is. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good one.